What up, Ink Squad? Happy Lorcana Day. Excited to get some product later today and open up some packs and some starter decks, and hopefully y'all are able to get some too. Don't forget to support your local game stores and go get some product today. Today I wanted to go over the different inks. So there are 6 different inks when it comes to Lorcana. So we have Amber, Amethyst, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, and Steel. And remember, for each deck, you can only pick 2. So you can do any combination of 2. So the first one I want to go over is Amber. So Amber glimmers are purposeful, patient, and dedicated. They're able to pursue causes and ambitions with single-minded persistence. They often work within communities, either from above as leaders or from within as a healer, bodyguard, or just a loyal follower. So that's straight from the Lorcana website. And what I found from the gamer site, so for the Amber ink, so it's saying that these cards are essential for protecting and healing other Amber ink cards in your deck. So what's really cool about this deck and some of the things, the gimmicks with an Amber ink, it's most notable for its community aspect. So this ink is all about patience, dedication, and a sense of belonging and responsibility in your community. So this has cards like bodyguards, healers, or cards that directly affect the other cards that you have in your deck. Amethyst. So this is for the otherworldly ink of sorcerers, sages, animated objects, and other glimmers who use their special powers to achieve their aims. They're incredibly powerful when they have access to these amazing abilities, but may land in trouble if they're stripped of those or tap into power they can't control. So the Amethyst is great for stopping your opponents in their tracks, either by exerting your cards or preventing them from being able to get ready. You also have options to draw cards to replenish your hand, and multiple options for returning like banished cards to your hand. So this is a great deck for like spellcasters, animated objects, a lot of characters that have magical abilities to do these things that kind of help you with that deck. So there's a bunch of heroes and villains that share these abilities. So I know a lot of people have been talking about doing like a villain deck. So some of these villains might have some of these abilities to kind of help with whatever you're looking to do in your deck. If you're looking for an ink color to exert some control, Emerald is the deck color for you. So you're gifted with the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. They're never caught off guard. They're quick thinking, but not necessarily book smart. They navigate their environment, whether physical or social, natural or artificial, with ease. So this ink is constantly changing and adjusting to the gameplay. It's all about being flexible, like I said earlier. So they use this flexibility to change the status of your opponent and move cards back and forth. This is a great ink for returning characters to your opponent's hands when they challenge you, or banish the challenger to keep some control over the board. So there's a lot of cool different cards that have these abilities. Next ink is Ruby. So these glimmers are daring. They use their speed and bravery to defy the odds. They're often warriors, explorers, and daredevils. I've been reading up on this one, and I guess this would be considered an aggro ink. That's a TCG term that I've learned over the past week or two. It's just meaning aggressive. So if you're an aggressive player, red ink complements that playing style. This ink is reckless and you're ready to rush into battle. So you'll find this being like speedy. You'll try and rush your opponent and try and win the game quickly. So in this ink, there are a couple of evasive characters that will help you be able to rush and try and win the game swiftly. And we'll talk about evasive characters in a later video. The next ink is Sapphire. So these glimmers are intellectual. They're intelligent and creative. They excel at strategy, invention, and the arts. They can almost always know something, plan something, or invent something that will win the day. With Sapphire, you'll be using like inventions and knowledge to lead up on your opponent. All about using intelligent and creative characters to solve problems that they face with when you're faced against the other inks. So the best part about Sapphire is that it has a number of cards that empower your items. It has quite a few resourceful options. You can scan your deck, quest for lore, and support your team with different items and inventions with this ink color. I think this is my favorite ink color. There's a lot of cool cards and some interesting characteristics with this ink. The next ink is steel. So steel glimmers are strong. They're large and imposing, armored, or just plain powerful. Steel glimmers can apply huge amounts of brute force to get the job done. There are a lot of really cool cards that in this ink as well. So I think Sapphire and Steel are my two favorite inks right now, but who knows if it'll change in the next couple days. So this ink is like the strongest and most defensive ink color. It's represented by strong and imposing characters. With this ink color, you can use brute force to get through your opponent, and then you'll have a lot of opportunities to protect your allies. There's a bunch of different ways to deal damage. Even your action cards in this ink color do damage. So there's a lot of cool things with this ink where you can gain lore through banishing your opponent, making it easy to focus on getting high damage, high reward playstyle. So now I wanted to go over a couple of my favorite cards for each ink color. So for Amber, my two favorite cards were definitely Rapunzel and Rockstar Stitch. So with Rapunzel, I just really like it because my daughter's obsessed with the Rapunzel right now. So I know if I ever get this card that she's gonna want it for her collection. And then I just really like the Stitch Rockstar. So I think the Floodborn is a really cool concept, and I'm excited to see how they kind of expand on that in later sets. But I'm excited to hopefully get that Stitch Rockstar card so I can implement that in a future deck. So for Amethyst, Elsa the Snow Queen and then Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer are my two favorite cards from this ink. I think the Elsa card artwork looks amazing. With the book and the ice powers around her, it just looks like a really cool card, and hopefully I can get that in a holo version. And then the Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer, like it just seems really cool with seeing Mickey Mouse in like a different like attire and just like a different vibe. And then you can see like the brooms in the background. It gives me like Fantasia vibes. And it's a Dreamborn character, so I think it's cool to see Mickey Mouse in a different way. So for Emerald, Tamatoa, the drab little crab, it's cool to see Tamatoa as like a baby version, because we all know that the song Shiny from Moana. It's cool to see him like as a small crab, like finding his first shiny thing. And then John Silver from Treasure Planet. That's probably one of my favorite movies. It's really underrated. So it's cool that he gets a card, and I'm excited to see if they can add some other characters from Treasure Planet into Lorcana. So for Ruby, I chose the Goofy Daredevil and then Moana. Goofy just looks really cool. Just never thought I'd see Goofy gliding like that ever in some sort of artwork. And then Moana is just iconic with her part in the sea with the heart of Te-Fiti in her hands. Just artwork looks amazing. So hopefully I can find that. For Sapphire, I really like the Belle Inventive Engineer. It just looks like some alternate reality Belle where she's an inventor, and just looks really cool. The attention to detail in here and just kind of is just a really cool concept. And then obviously you got to go with Let It Go as a song. So popular, so I just feel like iconic when it comes to Disney now. Like whenever you think of Frozen, you think of Let It Go and Elsa. So hopefully can pull that. And then lastly for Steel, Lilo, Galactic Hero. It's just cool to see Lilo on some planet with a blaster. It just looks really cool. And then Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy. This card looks amazing. With her just towering over Captain Hook's ship. It looks really, really cool. Obviously, hopefully you can get all these cards in the next couple days with some of the packs or product I'm getting, but excited to see what I can pull. Hopefully y'all like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, I would also like to know which kind of inks are your favorite, and which inks you're going to use for your decks. Yeah, comment below. Love to hear some feedback and some deck ideas.